You do not understand, but you will.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. Game over.
You do not understand, but you will.
And just what the hell you
That's
looking
it, man. Game over, man. It's game over. Game over.
Aloha. Welcome to Inqronicles. You with the host with the most, InkyMann, and I have one question for you.
What are those?
What are those? That's right. Today is What Are Those Thursday.
Bro, what the fuck are those? Oh, bro.
Also known as the InkyMann experiment, part 2. Let us begin.
I got one question for you. What are those? What are those? What are those?
Holla at him.
I got one question for you. What are those?
Converse, I really hate Converse.
What are those?
You like my new boots?
I got one question for you. What are those?
He was just a kid with a lot of questions. I have a question.
What are those?
Shoe game on point.
I got one question for you. What are those? What are the?
Rich nigga, Ron run the
I
city.
got one question for you. What are those?
I got one question for you.
What are those?
So do you remember this experiment?
Push my point, put a piece in the joint, got a tooth in speed, I'm spring my joint, straight crack back, one to the pop, who know to the ram city, no.
Yep. This is just another version of that experiment. See, by the end of today, at least 2 times today, after watching this show, you will yell out, what are those? Trust me. This is an old trend, obviously, on Vine that I'm catching up on, being an old man. But with this experiment, once again, before the end of the day, you will say, what are those? At least twice before the end of the day. I expect you to tell me. And then I expect you not to tell me. But
I got a question for you. What are those?
I got one question for you. What are those? I got one question for you. What are those? What are those?
10:30, I'm like,
What are those?
Adam, I understand you're tying your shoes and everything, but I gotta ask, what are those?
Chad, I got a question for you.
They're Vans. They're Vans.
Question.
What are those? What are the? I got one question for you. What are those?
Do you mind if I ask you a few questions for my report?
sure. What would you like to know?
What are those?
George, do you like my new shoes?
What are those?
I only got one question for you.
What are those?
Yo, Mike, you looking fresh as shit right now.
Thanks, buddy.
But I got one question for you.
What are those?
so, doing these Vine things, man, putting the show together, clipping little vines and things like that together, or just straight up catching people to put compilations together and chopping their shit up and put it on here. I find there's a lot of trends out there. What are those? The sausage movement, the cheesecake movement. If you don't know about that, go Google that, because I won't put that on this show. Just a lot of different challenges that come through these Vine things, man. And I really dig them, man. I really do. Because it amazes me how somebody could do something, put it on a video, throw it out there once, and next thing you know, everybody's just copying it. Like the Real Roxanne thing. Did you Google that? Real Roxanne, the Roxanne saga. Anyway, so let me give you a couple more of those. And then I got a surprise for you.
Hey, SpongeBob, wanna see my new shoes?
What are those?
me, sir.
I got one question for you. What are those?
I got one question for you. What are those? What are those? Good evening.
What are those? What are those? It's SpongeBob. I got one question for you. What are those? What are those?
Well, that's why your shoe game weak.
What are those?
All right, so to wrap up, what are those Thursday? I want to give you a little story behind the what are those vines. I'm going to take it off like that. So I want you guys to have a happy payday eve, a happy throwback Thursday, a happy what are those Thursday, what are those? And here's how the story goes. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Hi, I'm Ryan, and my life is average.
Oh, gadget!
Hey, so as a lot of you guys know, the What Are Those Vine has taken over the world. I even made a Vine about it. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, this is it.
One question for you. What are those?
Now, there have been a lot of hilarious remakes. My favorite one is this one, is the Jurassic Park remix, which I know some of it is getting old, but listen, this one makes me laugh every time. And so on and so forth. But the thing is, okay, not a lot of people know the truth behind that story. That Vine has 20 million loops. It's going to get so many. It has taken over the world. I walk around the mall. God forbid someone is wearing socks and sandals. They are just going to get what are those, as I like to call it. But like I said, most people don't know the truth behind the story. And luckily, I am really good friends with the guy, Kevin, who did actually record and do that What Are Those Vine. So I'm going to tell you the whole backstory of what happened that day and what led up to that iconic Vine. So Kevin, it's a normal day. You know, he's just kind of hanging out. We were playing a little ball. He won me in basketball, and then we're hanging out, and we go to his aunt's house. His aunt is a very, let's say, naggy woman. She asks him a ton of questions, and you know, she's always all over the place. So she says, hey, I want to go to the mall. Let's get some food, my treat. If anyone ever offers us food, I'm going, okay? If they're saying they're buying, I don't care where they go. They could feed me coal, I'll still eat it because they're paying, and I feel like it's probably nutritious for me because people eat weird ass shit. So we go to the mall, okay, we eat, and then we just decide, let's go walk around, okay? We walk around this little park nearby, so we do a nice little stroll. It's a nice day out, okay? His aunt, you know, hurts her ankle a little bit, okay? So we're sitting there, just, you know, make sure she's all right. She's kind of just, you know, sitting there with her leg and a little swollen, and a cop walks by, and, you know, he kind of says, hey, you know, is everything okay, you know? And oh yeah, everything's fine. And like, yeah, she just kind of rolled her leg a little bit, her ankle, she'll be okay. He's like, okay, cool. And he just walks away, and she kind of looks him up and down, and, you know, she's single, so, you know, we're like, oh, okay, we see you, you know. So then, you know, a couple days later we go, and I'm over and we're eating at his house. And she's sitting there and she goes, you know what, I couldn't stop thinking about the cop that we saw the other day. And I was like, oh, you like him? You got a little crush there, a little 6th grade crush? And she goes, no, you know, I really just want to know what kind of shoes he was wearing, because I think that your younger brother, Kevin's younger brother, Michael, would really look good in those. And I just think that, I don't know, for some reason, I've been thinking about it all day. And I'm like, wow, well, I have no idea. I didn't even see him. So then Kevin was like, let's go find this guy. We'll patrol around that area, okay? We'll be like our own little cops. We'll find him, and we will ask him ourselves. We want to know what kind of shoes he has, not because we don't like them, but because we want them for ourselves, because they are super hot fire shoes. So after a long 3 hours of trying to evade geese around the area and just all these things, we were just kind of camping out. We finally see a squad car roll by. We wave the guy down. Officer comes out. It's not him. So we ask a couple questions. Then they say, oh, we know who you're talking about. He usually patrols over that way. So we walk all the way over, around past the mall, and then there he is. Sitting there, he's feeding ducks, okay? And my friend goes, there he is. This is it. So we're just kind of bullshitting with him. We don't want to go up right away and say, you know, hey, this is all we're going to talk about, and then just leave. I think it's a little weird. He'd probably be confused. So we asked him a couple questions. You know, he pulled over. One of his friends was there. We're just chatting, okay? And then my friend says, hey, listen, I got one more question for you. what are those? Now, he said it in a way that was a little crazy because he's a fun guy. Kevin is a passionate person. He's a comedian, okay? No, not that many people know that. So we ask, what are those? Then it cuts. What you don't see is the cop graciously saying, these are Skechers, and I got them for $19.99. Very gentlemanlike, points us into the direction of where we got to go, and that's it. So now, my friend's brother has a really great selection of shoes. My aunt is happy, everybody's happy, and we know what are those, or what those were, because of that heroic cop. So it's not making fun of anybody, okay? There it is, now you know. That's the real facts, that's the truth behind the what are those vine. Alright, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. None of what I just said was real.
Got him!